Thanks a lot, Yasmin. Hawaii residents opened their hearts, homes, and their wallets to help the victims of the earthquake and tsunami in Japan last March. Now, nearly 7 months later, more than $8 million is headed toward those who need it, thanks to your kokua. One of the leaders of the Aloha for Japan campaign was Lieutenant Governor Brian Schatz, and he joins us now this morning with details on how the money is being used. Good morning, Lieutenant Governor.
Good morning, Mahela.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
$8 million, that's an incredible amount of money in just a short period of time. How did you manage to do it all?
Well, I think it was the community that did it. The first thing that the governor and I did when we emerged from Diamond Head, the Civil Defense Emergency Operating Center, was we went over to offer our condolences to the Consul General of Japan. And then the governor asked me to try to coordinate an effort around providing some relief, but we really never anticipated it would be this successful. Everybody in the community pitched in, every bank participated, lots of churches, every level of government. And yeah, we raised $8 million. I think this is more money than has ever been raised from Hawaii for anything outside of Hawaii. So everybody deserves a lot of credit. The only thing we did was we had one first meeting, and then everything just sort of spread from there.
Well, it is an incredible effort. It shows how people are really tied to the people of Japan. So now that Aloha for Japan is coming to an end, what's being done to make sure that the money goes to where it should be in Japan?
Well, the money is going to the Japan Red Cross and the American Red Cross for Japan relief efforts. The money will be spent on, or was spent, in the initial disaster for relief items like blankets and things like that. And now the money goes for sort of the next step, which would be electricity, which is still a difficulty, and then even some grief counseling and things like that. So as people get sort of move on with their recovery, then the Red Cross's services change. But all the money is being spent on helping the people of Japan. And it was an extraordinary thing. We had no idea what would happen. But we just saw this thing go across the internet. People made T-shirts. Facebook was all over the place. And I just think it was really, like you said, it was a testimony to how much aloha we have for the people of Japan and how much it's a real friendship we have with Japan.
Well, congratulations to you and all those leaders out there who participated.
Well, thank you to everyone.
Well, let's talk about APEC. You know, it's right around the corner. Preparations are underway. What can you tell us about the latest on that?
Well, I think we're in a reasonably good shape. You know, obviously, over the next couple of weeks, the Secret Service and the Coast Guard and others are going to start to roll out the details with respect to the thing that I think a lot of people are worried about, which is, you know, is it going to affect their traffic patterns and all of that. We've been working with them. They normally roll this out 10 days prior to the event, which is pretty late. And I think they're going to try to give information as soon as possible to the general public and try to minimize disruption. You know, there are going to be some inconveniences. When you got 21 heads of state, 21 secretaries of state, they've got to deal with the security aspects. But I think they're going to work really hard to minimize inconvenience and certainly to allow everybody to do the work that they have to do, to get to their house, to get to their place of work. None of that stuff is going to be impeded. So I think, you know, there will be some difficulties, but it's going to be well worth it for Hawaii at large.
All right. And we here at KITV are definitely getting ready for APEC as well. One final question. Let's talk about the sudden resignation of Vice Director Ed Teixeira from State Civil Defense. You know, there was some sort of tiff internally on federal grants, and I know that you know a lot about federal grants. It's one of your jobs as Lieutenant Governor. How does this affect your job, and what does this really mean to the public, this sudden resignation?
Well, first of all, Vice Director Ed Teixeira has done a great job, and he's sort of extraordinary in the sense that he's, I think, the only Vice Director that served not just for more than one administration, but for 3 continuous administrations. And we worked with him, of course, with the tsunami as it hit Hawaii. He's a good guy, and he worked very well. I don't know the details of his resignation, but he served for 15 years in civil defense, and we wish him the best, certainly. On the federal grant side, this won't affect you know, the public in any way. Apparently, there was a dispute about where to park some dollars in the Adjutant General's office or the Vice Director's office. I don't know the details of that, but certainly from the public standpoint, it's not going to impact civil defense and public safety, and I'm sure that's most people's major concern.
All right. Well, Lieutenant Governor Brian Schatz, thank you so much for stopping here this morning at this early morning hour. Good luck with the APEC meetings and all of the preparations leading up to that.
Thanks a lot.
And don't forget, if you'd like to watch this interview again with Lieutenant Governor, you can go to the morning section of our website, KITV.com. It is 6:18.